Hey again. So you either feel like you just lucked out or you feel like you're missing out. But you probably feel one way or the other about the rap that I was about to sing about the numerators and denominators multiplying across. But you should see that 3 times 4, when you're checking it, you get 12, and 4 times 5, you get 20. So therefore, the 1220 does equal the 12/20ths. Moving on to the second problem, which is that -7/9 d equals 5. So when you go ahead, I want you to actually pause this video. I want you to solve it and then hit play. So hopefully at this point you actually did the problem and you didn't just wait for me to start talking. And you should see that when you do this, you should actually rewrite the problem. You should see I did that. -7/9 d equals 5. And then what I did is I made the t and I multiplied the reciprocal of -7/9 and I multiplied it to both sides. So I multiplied -9/7 to both sides. You'll notice that even though it's the reciprocal, it still brings the negative. Because again, I need them to cancel out. So that's why I'm doing that. Because on this side, I want it to just say D. And so therefore I got it ending up where the -9/7 and the -7/9 cancel each other out, and I get D. On this side, when I multiply, remember you can't multiply with mixed numbers and you can't multiply with whole numbers. So you actually should be making this so that it's 5/1 and then multiplying across, which gets you -45/7, which can also be written as -6 3/7. Hopefully you got one of those answers and you checked your answer to make sure that it was correct, and sure enough, you do get the right answer with that. Last problem, boys and girls. Last problem. I know it's been a little long, but you can do it. So here is the last problem. It says Valerie needs 2/3 yards of fabric to make each hat for the school play. Write and solve an equation to find how many hats she can make with 6 yards of fabric. With 6 yards of fabric. Well, let me think about that. Again, I don't want just the answer. I need to find an equation that works for this. So I'm going to go back and I reread it. It says Valerie needs 2/3 yards of fabric to make each hat. So that means she's taking 2/3 for each hat. Each hat. That means we're multiplying it times the hats. So if I do 2/3 times the number of hats, I should get 6 yards. So I go ahead and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I am going to figure out how I can write on here, and I actually am not positive. I had this all set up, but now I can't remember how I did this because I believe, bear with me here. I don't want the magic pen. Oh, there we go. There it is. I found it. Okay. There we go. We are going to do it. Problem in purple. So we take our 2/3, and we're going to multiply it times each hat. So I'm just going to use H. If you want to use X, that's fine, whichever letter you want to use. And it should equal 6. And to solve that, if I look at this, I have to remember that in order to solve it, oh no, did I stop? No, I didn't stop recording. But I need this. Oh, there we go. I couldn't figure out how to move something. Okay. Sorry, guys. So, 2/3 times H. It's a fraction coefficient. To get rid of a fraction coefficient, I multiply by the reciprocal. And I'm going to show this to you using a different color because, well, it makes most sense because then you can see it. So I make my upside down T, which is going to be a little slanted because, again, I'm attempting to do this on the computer. And I'm multiplying. The reciprocal of 2/3 is 3 over 2. Multiplying times 3 over 2. And if you recall in that last problem, I said you can't multiply a whole number. You can't multiply a mixed number. All mixed numbers have to change to improper fractions, and all whole numbers have to change to fractions. So I actually put this over 1 because I can't do that. So this side cancels out, and I actually get H. And this side, if I do some cross-canceling ahead of time, I can actually cross-cancel here first. And so if I look, the 2 and the 6 have a common factor of 2. So if I divide that by 2, I get 1. Divide that by 2, I get 3. So then I multiply across, and I get 3 times 3 equals 9. 1 times 1 equals 1. My answer is 9. Obviously, you guys know my answer is not just 9. My answer should be 9 yards. And that's it for today, guys. So you did wonderful. I hope you got all the notes. If you have to go back, feel free to go back and check any notes or any questions you may have. And you can go ahead and get started on your homework now. Have a good day.